we're back. Hey guys. I'm I made 5 of these before, so I think you already kind of know what it is. But basically, I have collected some patterns, some basic sentences. We're going to play with those. We're going to take a sentence and then maybe replace a word or two, try to make it interesting and show you how you can also manipulate sentences that you find written by native speakers. So that's the magic. This is somewhere between grammar and memorizing because yes, there is grammar involved, but it's more like it's embedded. You don't have to think so much about it. It's just integrated into the whole thing. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. But before we start, let me just give a quick reminder that today is March 8th, and that is that Women's International Day. That's awesome. But that also means that there's 2 days left of this cold season discount. All right. So this Friday, the 10th, March 10th, is the last day when you get that 30% discount on all the videos on the website danishmaster.com. So keep that in mind. If you want to get the videos at this nice price, then act now. All right, enough about that. Let's get into the stuff. What do we have here? I took these sentences from some videos already made, and you can look at that later if you're watching the videos on the website. Kind of refer to that. But basically, the first one is utroligt at ingen har fanget mig endnu. Utroligt at ingen har fanget mig endnu. Incredible or unbelievable that no one has caught me yet. Alright? So this sentence is already kind of good on its own, but we can do better. We can do something with it. I already did a little example here, but let's start over. Let's see what we can do. Utroligt at ingen har fanget mig endnu. What would you do with that? Well, the trick is to replace certain words. But of course, it can't just be random words. It has to make sense grammatically. Otherwise, there's no point. So if you focus on fanget, at ingen har fanget mig endnu. No one has caught me yet. Fanget, caught. That is present perfect. And then if you look down here, you have some suggestions, some other verbs in the present perfect. You have set, seen, betalt, paid, kysset, kissed, opdaget, discovered, efterlignet, imitated, copied, spurgt, asked. Okay? So you can put any of these because they're all in the present perfect. You could say, utroligt at ingen har set mig endnu. Unbelievable, nobody has seen me yet. You're crawling around, you're very obvious, you're very easy to see, to spot, and yet people just don't see you. Right? Or utroligt at ingen har betalt mig endnu. Nobody has paid me yet. So you're working really hard, you're building an entire house, and nobody gave you a dime. Right? So you can put anything in here. You could say, ingen har betalt mig endnu. Ingen har betalt mig endnu. Ingen har spurgt mig endnu. Like no one has asked me yet. Oh yeah, when you write in the document, please do it at the end of the document. I should mention that so you don't sort of erase anything that I wrote, or I don't want you to like mess that up. So do it at the end. Awesome. So utroligt at ingen har, incredible or unbelievable that no one has something something, like they haven't done it yet. Of course, you could also say ufatteligt, which I wrote here. Ufatteligt is also unbelievable, but it's more like when you can't fathom it. Like it's just like mind blown. Yeah, it's very strong, ufatteligt. So if you say it to someone else, like they do something and you're like ufatteligt, it could sound a little negative. Be careful with that. Ufatteligt. But yeah, it's good if something is really like disbelief. So yeah, these are some of your options. Ikke? Ingen har set mig, ingen har betalt mig, ingen har kysset mig, ingen har opdaget mig, ingen har efterlignet mig, ingen har spurgt mig. Right? Or you could say, det er helt vildt at. Helt vildt is sort of like it's crazy, it's wild. And it's just like, damn, wow. Right? Again, you're kind of surprised. And instead of saying ingen, like you have here. Ingen means no one or nobody. You can say at han ikke har, that he hasn't. Like han ikke har, or hun ikke har, that she hasn't, or just a person's name. So that is something you can do with this sentence. It's good to play with. And even after this live stream, I'm going to leave the document in the description so you can just play with it. Again, don't play with other people's sentences or mine, but like, make your own stuff at the end or somewhere in the middle where it doesn't bother anyone. It's all good. Alright, cool. So let's go down a little bit. I can also do this, make it a little easier for myself. Yeah, like that. Alright, cool. So this one is, jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at flyve. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at flyve. I spend a lot of money on flying. Now the video is taken from I'm flying on some animal, but in real life, of course, that could be flying in a plane or helicopter. Regardless, you have this basic sentence. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at flyve. And there's a couple of words here you could replace with something else. Flyve is the verb. Right? Well, there are two verbs. Bruger, use, of course. But the verb I want to look at is flyve. Spend a lot of money on something. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at. It doesn't have to be flyve. It could also be, well, ride. På at ride. Right? Riding like a horse or something like that. Camel. Bruger mange penge på at ride. That's what you spend a lot of money on. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at stå på skøjter. På at stå på skøjter. Now, what is that? Maybe you know. At stå på skøjter is ice skating. Stå is like stand. You get stå, stand. And then på is on. Skøjt is it's sort of like when you're dicing through. You get like so that's skating, but ice skating. Right? Stå på skøjter. Yeah, jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at stå på skøjter. Or if it's not an action but a thing, it may be something you just keep buying, you're blowing your entire budget on it, you can just take out the at and say, jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på pizza, og jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på cocktails, på nye sko, ikke? New shoes, den hobby meaning of course, oops, that kind of got eclipsed by me there, like den hobby, that hobby, alright? Or den slags, that kind of thing, that type of thing. So that's something you can do with this one. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at, right? Because it's a bruge penge, to use money, to spend money. That is like the basic word here. And what you'll notice, of course, is these verbs are infinitive. At flyve, to fly. At ride, to ride. At stå, to stand. So ice skate, kan stå på skøjter. And that's how it is. But of course you could also take penge out, because money is not the only resource. You could also say, jeg bruger rigtig meget. Jeg bruger rigtig meget, so not penge, something else. Jeg bruger rigtig meget tid. Okay. Jeg bruger rigtig meget tid på at ride. I really spend a lot of time writing. Okay, so time is a resource and therefore you can spend it. Jeg bruger tid på det. I spend time on it. I invest time into it. Jeg bruger rigtig meget tid på at ride. Alright. Og jeg bruger rigtig meget tid på at, any of these, ikke? På at sove, sleeping. Let's write it just for good measure. På at sove, på at danse, dancing, på at pille næse. What is that? Guys, what is that? Pille næse. Picking your nose. Ikke? Jeg bruger rigtig meget tid på at pille næse. I spend a lot of time picking nose. My own nose, ikke? That's what it means, not someone else's. So anyway, sorry I got too distracted there. But yeah, ikke? Så bruger rigtig meget tid på at. But it doesn't have to be tid. Could also be energi. Energy. Jeg bruger rigtig meget energi på at something. På at diskutere med ham. Not cool. Jeg bruger rigtig meget energi på at diskutere med ham. I spent a lot of energy discussing with him, and kind of like arguing, just like that. Bruger rigtig meget tid på at diskutere med ham. So it's the same thing. Ikke? At bruge is to use og to spend. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at ride. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på at stå på skøjter. Jeg bruger rigtig mange penge på pizza, cocktails, nye sko, den hobby, den slags. Og det could also be a person. Ikke? It could be mine forældre, ikke? My parents, eller mine børnebørn, my grandchildren, børnebørn. Right? That's how it is. Alright, let's take a little look in the live chat to see if anyone is pitching in. Gonna have to refresh it to see what's going on. What we got going on here? Alright, nothing so far. Cool. Så, what is this next one? Så måske skulle jeg sælge kartofler i stedet. Så måske skulle jeg sælge kartofler i stedet. So maybe I should sell potatoes instead. This one is very weird if you don't have a context, so just watch the video. The link is right there. Alright, so he wants to sell potatoes instead. Okay. But of course it doesn't have to be kartofler, potatoes. He could be selling something else. I mean, he could be selling agurker. What is agurker? I think most of you know this word. Agurker. Cucumbers. Måske skulle jeg sælge agurker i stedet. Agurker is a nice word. Tomater. Tomater is tomatoes. Og smykker. Måske skulle jeg sælge smykker i stedet. Smykker, it means jewelry. Okay? Smykker. Og bøger. Books. Pretty straightforward. Whoops, now we're getting into my space again. Oh, jakker. Actually, I meant to say jakkesæt. Right? Jakkesæt. Suits. Yes, that kind of suit. Jakkesæt. So maybe I should sell cucumbers instead, or tomatoes, or jewelry, or books, or suits. Right? Måske skulle jeg sælge something. It could be a lot of things. But maybe he's not selling. Maybe he's doing something else. Now there are other actions. Maybe he's saying, måske skulle jeg dyrke. Okay, let's copy that. Måske skulle jeg dyrke. Now guys, what does this mean? Dyrke. To grow, cultivate. Right? We're talking some plants here. So dyrke agurker. Absolutely, you can say that. Dyrke agurker. Dyrke tomater. Sure. Dyrke smykker. Nah, you can't say that. It has to be a vegetable or something, obviously. Dyrke. Right? Dyrke. Oh, by the way, dyrke can also be used for other things, but in this part right here, I'm just focused on food. Så måske skulle jeg dyrke. But smykker, bøger, jakkesæt, købe, you can use it to buy. Måske skulle jeg købe smykker. Maybe I should buy jewelry. Og male, paint. You can't really say male with any of these. Paint, jewelry, maybe male bøger, male jakkesæt. But you could say sy. Måske skulle jeg sy jakkesæt i stedet. Ikke? Sy, like that. Right? Måske skulle jeg sy jakkesæt i stedet. Yeah, or just lave, make, like straight up, good old verb, lave. That's how it is. Alright, let's see here. So yeah, it's all about like looking at the alternatives, because almost with any sentence you have, there are some of the words you can replace, and sometimes you can also make it longer. We're not really doing that today, not so much, because I did that in the other videos. But still, think about what you can replace. Maybe there's a noun, kartofler, a verb, sælge, or the personal pronoun, jeg, and could be du, you, han, he, hun, she, and so on. Like vi, we. It's all about getting that practice. So yeah. Alright. That was nice. And then we go down to det bare så dejligt at vaske hænder. Who says this? Det bare så dejligt at vaske hænder. It's just so nice to wash your hands. All right. So yeah, this was from Sabin the soap. Funny little video. Um, there are many things that are nice. Vaske hænder, wash your hands, washing your hands, sure. But what about slappe af, relax? Or få massage, to get a massage. Tag et bad, gå i bad, take a shower or hit the shower. At få ros. Ros, that might be a new word to most of you. What is ros? It means praise and like positive feedback, like yeah, nice, thanks. Ikke? Ros, ros. Practice your art with that. Det er bare så dejligt at something something. So let's take it down here and see what we can do. Det er bare så dejligt at yeah. Vaske hænder. Yeah, we're done with that. We don't wash our hands anymore. Det er bare så dejligt at slappe af. Det er bare så dejligt at slappe af. It's just so nice to relax. Okay. Det er bare så dejligt at få massage. At få massage. To get a massage. And yeah, it's like in English or French, like massage. It's not like massage or massage. It's very atypical for Danish. Or, well, not 100%, but it is usually something that comes from French or some other language. This sort of G sound with the G, like genie, genius, or genert, shy. But I'll cover that some other day. Så det er bare så dejligt at it's just so nice to something. At få massage og tage et bad. Ikke? Take a bath or shower. Well, shower is actually brusebad, if you want to be very exact, but most people don't say brusebad. Like, brus is sort of like the when the water is all like that. But I just say bad, it's fine. Okay, at få ros. Det er bare så dejligt at få ros. To get praise. Yeah, thanks man. Nej, det er bare så dejligt. But of course, what you could also do is replace dejligt. Something like hyggeligt. Yeah, our favorite word. Hyggeligt. Det er bare så hyggeligt at slappe af. Right? Meaning it is just so cozy. Of course, it's more like chilled or nice. Right? We just love that word. Det er bare så hyggeligt at slappe af. It's just so cozy to relax. Og rart. What is rart? Oh, sorry. My mistake. Det er bare så rart at få massage. It's just so nice. But it's a little bit different. Dejlig, okay, there's some overlapping here. Dejlig is a lot of things. Like, oh, dejligt vejr, eller det er dejligt, that's nice. Dejlig mad, nice food. Dejlig, like someone is a nice, warm person. Or feels physically good. Rart is more like kind. And like if you say to a person, oh, du er rar, it's like you're nice, you're kind. So it's a little bit different. And it's also like just very comfortable. Like getting a massage, like, yeah. Så rart. Det er rart at slappe af, you could also say. But if you said rart at få ros, I mean, you can grammatically, but it would be a little bit unnatural, because it doesn't give that feeling. Right? Dejlig is more like universally nice, just like nice, cool. Rart has to be sort of physical or a little bit deeper on an emotional level. I hope that's clear to you. But rart is very good. You'll hear people say it from time to time. Oh, det var rart. You just flew 20 hours across the continents and lie down in a bed. And you're like, det er så rart at ligge ned. Ja. Det er så rart at være i min seng og ligge ned i min seng. To be in your bed or something like that. Or you could say, instead of dejligt, and you take vigtigt. Important. Det er bare så vigtigt at få ros. It's so important to get or receive praise. Vigtigt is of course a different category from hyggeligt og rart og dejligt, but it gets the job done grammatically. You could really put any adjective in here, like for the sake of grammar practice you can. Det er bare så nemt at få ros. It's so easy to get praise. Yeah, let's put it in there. nemt og svært. It's hard, it's difficult. Like someone is withholding the validation of the praise. You're like, You're like, nah. Right? Det er bare så svært at få ros. So yeah, you can put a lot of things in here, a lot of adjectives. Nice. Alright, let's move on. Alright, this is a good line. The reason I'm smiling so much is also because I'm thinking about the videos that these sentences come from. So, associations. Fortæl mig ikke ting, jeg ikke vil høre. Fortæl mig ikke ting, jeg ikke vil høre. Don't tell me things I don't want to hear. Alright, so this is from selective hørelse. This is, well, I was looking at ting. I guess ting is like, it's interchangeable. There are some other things we can put in there. Instead of ting, moving a little bit fast here, you could say, fortæl mig ikke noget. Fortæl mig ikke noget. Like, don't tell me anything, or don't tell me something. It's basically just like, no, if I don't want to hear it, don't tell me. Right? Fortæl mig ikke noget, jeg ikke vil høre. Og fortæl mig ikke nyheder, jeg ikke vil høre. Fortæl mig ikke nyheder, jeg ikke vil høre. Don't tell me news, like news from the media or just new information that I don't want to hear. Nyheder. Fortæl mig ikke detaljer is the next one. Now guys, what is detaljer? Detaljer of course means details, right? Så fortæl mig ikke detaljer, jeg ikke vil høre. Don't tell me details I don't want to hear. And then, just to speed it up, because I think you're getting it, you could say historier, stories, or anekdoter, right? Anecdotes, and so on. Now, I put these words in here because they make sense. And it would have to be something that you can deliver, just verbally, and something the other person wouldn't want to hear. Undskyldninger. Fortæl mig ikke undskyldninger. That would be excuses. But you usually don't fortælle, like you don't say fortælle about undskyldning. But you could say giv undskyldninger. Like don't give me any excuses. Let's switch this line. Jeg ikke vil høre. Alright. And of course, you saw me do giv here, giv. You could also say vis, show. Vis mig ikke detaljer. Don't show me details. Vis mig ikke anekdoter. Vis mig ikke noget. Don't show me anything. Don't show me something. Forklar mig ikke noget. Don't explain me anything. Forklar mig ikke noget, som jeg ikke vil høre. Forklar mig ikke noget. You know what? Let's extend. Let's make it a bit more interesting. Forklar mig ikke noget, som jeg ikke er interesseret i at type there. Som jeg ikke er interesseret i at høre. Right? Don't explain me anything that I'm not interested in hearing. So yeah, it's long, but it's good stuff. And I think the reason why I keep making these videos is because I really want to hammer this point home, that you can do this too on your own time. You can print this out or just play on your computer, or take something from another source, like the newspaper or music, raps, poetry, whatever, right? Whatever you have available. The main point is that it's written by native speakers, so that you know it's legit, so that you know it's correct. And from there you can just sort of replace one word at a time. Because sure, you can make sentences on your own from scratch, but then you might be spending so much time thinking, okay, so where should the verb go? Or what about this preposition? And is this the right tense? A lot of that you can sort of let go of and make irrelevant by just copying something that exists. And I've probably mentioned this before, but that is how I learned a lot of English when I was a teenager, and Japanese later on. So do that. It's a very good approach. Okay, super. Now we're getting to undervurder ikke den mørke side. Undervurder ikke den mørke side. Do not underestimate the dark side. Alright? Yeah, so it is what it is. But, the dark side is not the only thing you can underestimate. You could also be underestimating what we got down here. Undervurder ikke den mørke side. But what if we say undervurder ikke, don't underestimate? din modstander. Undervurder ikke din modstander. Don't underestimate your opponent. Right? So in sports or any kind of competition, modstander, because mod is like against, and well, stander is not really a thing on its own, but it's like stand, like something standing or some resistance. Yeah, modstander. Undervurder ikke din modstander. Okay, that's cool. What else can we do? Undervurder ikke en desperat person. That's sad. Undervurder ikke en desperat person. Don't underestimate a desperate person. Okay? Undervurder ikke, yeah, could also be en motiveret mand og kvinde. A motivated man or woman. Right? But you know, we can make that a bit more interesting. Undervurder ikke en mand eller kvinde, som kæmper for, let's see, for friheden. Yeah, that's better. Undervurder ikke en mand eller kvinde, som kæmper for friheden. Don't underestimate a man or woman who's fighting for freedom. Okay? Or if you want to get a little bit more lofty, you could say, som kæmper for retfærdigheden. Som kæmper for retfærdigheden. Who is fighting for justice. Ikke? Retfærdighed, justice, fairness. It's good stuff. Og fjenden. Undervurder ikke fjenden. What was that? That was annoying. Undervurder ikke fjenden. Guys, what is that? What does it mean, fjenden? The enemy. Ikke? Undervurder ikke fjenden. Do not underestimate the enemy. Of course, it doesn't have to be undervurder. It could also be tal. Stol på. I could say, tal ikke med fjenden. Now, that's very recent, so you remember it. Tal ikke med fjenden. Don't speak or talk to the enemy. Stol ikke på... I don't know. How can we say this without offending anyone? Stol ikke på folk, der går i lyserødt. It's still offensive, but not so much. Stol ikke på folk, der går i lyserødt. Don't trust people who wear pink. Like pink clothes. Stol ikke på mænd, som ikke kan lide lakrids. That's good stuff. I mean, it's terrible, but it sounds funny. Stol ikke på mænd, som ikke kan lide lakrids. Don't trust men who don't like licorice. So you see what I did here, right? We started with this whole thing about don't underestimate the dark side. And then I just tweaked a little bit, eh? And yeah, we ended up with this. Vent ikke på... Yeah, okay, we can play with that too. Vent ikke på... Vent ikke på en hest, som har midtlivskrise. Sure, why not? Vent ikke på en hest, som har midtlivskrise. Don't wait for a horse who's having a midlife crisis. That's weird as hell, but it sounds nice. Ikke? Eller vent ikke på en kollega, som har midtlivskrise. So you're there, you see Tom Scavo, and he has like this big crisis, and you're like, dude, what's up? Anyway, you get the point. Ikke? Vent ikke på en something. And the reason why I add this some or there is because it makes it more interesting. Of course, I could say, don't stol ikke på mænd, like don't trust men. Stol ikke på folk, don't trust people. Vent ikke på en kollega. Don't wait for a coworker. But it's not that interesting. We want to make it longer. The longer it is, the more interesting it is. Right? That's generally how I feel about it. So yeah. Okay, cool. This one. This is, men han lever livet, så han er ligeglad. Men han lever livet, så han er ligeglad. But he is living life, so he doesn't care. Right? this is good. So livet is literally the life, right? Just like in Spanish, la vida, and I think some other languages too. I know in English say life, not the life, but whatever. Så, man kan leve livet is living life. Hand sanitizer on my lip. How nasty is that? Alright. What can you do here? What can you do? Så han er lykkelig. Lykkelig is better than ligeglad. Because lykkelig means happy. Right? And I don't mean just happy like right now. I mean like very happy or just like happy in general. Like lykkelig. Lykkelig. If you're happy in general in life, like a happy marriage or happy in your situation, then you would say lykkelig, not glad. Glad is the emotion, it's fleeting. Så han er lykkelig. Og han er euforisk. Oh, that's intense. Så han er euforisk. So he is euphoric. Just because he's listening to the good stuff. Right? Men han lever livet, så han er euforisk. Og tilfreds, toning it down a little bit. Not so intense. Tilfreds, satisfied or content. Right? Tilfreds. It could be different things. It could be he's like some Buddhist monk who's like, this is good, this is good. Right? Han lever livet, så han er tilfreds. Ja. Og afslappet. Afslappet. What is that, guys? I think you know it. Så han er afslappet. Relaxed. Right? Yeah. Super. But of course you don't have to say han lever livet. I mean, there are other things you can do with life besides living it. Men han lever livet. Han elsker livet. He loves life. Han elsker livet. Og han er glad for livet. Han er glad for livet. Glad for is kind of like liking, but it's a little stronger. It's like fond of, like really like. That's generally how it is. It's somewhere between kan lide og elsker. And like you have sort of kan lide, er glad for, holder af, elsker. I'll get to holder af some other time. I definitely talked about it before. Han sætter pris på livet. This is very typical me. I love this word for some reason. Men han sætter pris på livet. Ja. Put it with the lykkelig sounds better. Men han sætter pris på livet, but he appreciates life, or he cherishes. He cherishes life. Sætter pris på, which is funny because you would be like, oh, put a price on, but it's not to put a price on, it's to cherish it, and you cannot put a price on it, in fact. Nice. So that's a little bit about that one. Moving down, I think, yeah, this is the last one. That's what I thought. So this one, at skrive fiktion er med til at åbne ens øjne. At skrive fiktion er med til at åbne ens øjne. Writing fiction helps to open one's eyes. This is, if you're into like artistic stuff or anything to do with the mind or the spirit, soul, whatever. It's good stuff. Så there's some interesting things here. At skrive fiktion er med til at åbne ens øjne. Okay, but it doesn't have to be øjne. Could also be sind. Er med til at åbne ens sind. Sind is mind. Right? So it helps to open your mind. Or doesn't have to be opening something necessarily, but it could be med til at udvide ens horisont. Er med til at udvide ens horisont. Helps to expand your horizon, right? Or widen your horizon. Yeah. Udvide. Udvide is to expand. Horisont. Horisont. Yeah, it's good stuff. Now, the key point here, I would say grammatically, is med til at. Er med til at, or in the past, var med til at. It's kind of like play a role in, help in, and I don't mean help like assisting, like I'm helping you. More like it plays a role, it contributes, it's a contributing factor. It's not the only thing, but it does play a role. So I want to make that very clear. Er med til at. But could also be something else. It doesn't have to be that you're writing fiction. Could be, let's skrive digte. Yeah, what is that? Digte. It means poems, right? Digte, digte. I feel like I use this quite often. Skrive digte. What else can you do? At male. Got that as the second one. At skrive male. At male, of course. At male er med til at åbne ens sind. Painting helps opening your mind. Right? Male, male. Og at meditere. At meditere. To meditate. At meditere er med til at åbne ens sind. Ja. Og the final one. At være nysgerrig. At være nysgerrig. This is a little bit different because it's not as active. Technically, it's still a verb, være, to be, but it's not like you're really doing something, right? You're just being something. You're being curious. At være nysgerrig er med til at åbne ens sind. Being curious helps open your mind. So, that was the last one. And like the other times, I'll say that you can go back. You can look in this document and play with it. Like find some space between my sentences or other people's sentences, and then just write it out. Right? Just have some fun. And of course, you can also do this in your own document. Like I said, copy something from a text you've seen or something you heard, assuming that you can write it down as it was said, but try at least. And just have some fun with that. And I keep saying have fun, but that's because it's important. Some of you, it's a little pep talk incoming. Some of you, maybe you see learning Danish as a chore, but that is, sorry to say, wrong. That is not the way to do it. You gotta have some fun with it. Yeah, it can't be fun 100% of the time, but maybe like 70 or 80% of the time. And you have to see it as a game, as playing Tetris or Subway Surfers or Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, that's a weird example. But you gotta like have some fun with it. Right? And then you're just sort of building it, like you have this incremental improvements, and that's how you do it. Nice. So let me take a look in the live chat. Okay, it's pretty quiet today. Boofy Chicken is saying heyo. Well, heyo yourself. Awesome. So yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, please guys remember to check out the website, danishmastery.com, because that is where all this stuff is. This video was nice. I hope you liked it, but there's even more on the website. That's where you get all 440 something. There's a whole lot videos of all levels, from total basic to the more advanced stuff. So yeah, check that out, and remember that the discount is only for a few more days. Today's the 8th, then there's the 9th, tomorrow, and the 10th. The 10th is the last day. After that, the discount is gone. And I don't know when it'll be back. But what I will say is that the price will go up, and it's going to be the normal price. So don't, complain afterwards or something. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all for today. Thank you guys. This was nice. Another magical video in magical March is a good month. I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to take off now, but I'll